welcome back to the Thrifty Upcycler. I'm so glad you tuned in today. We have an amazing show. I'm really excited about it. First of all, today I'm going to show you how you can inexpensively refresh your decor for not a lot of money. I'm going to show you also an amazing DIY on how, from start to finish, and how you can upholster and paint older chairs that you may have. And I'm really excited. We have two fabulous guests here today. We have Melissa and Sasha Leclerc from Leclerc Decor, and they're going to be showing us some of their gorgeous work that they've done, their design work, and I'm really excited to have them here. Okay, so let's get to it. So today we're going to be talking all about how to refresh your space. So how's your space looking? Is it looking a little drab? Sometimes over the seasons, over a few seasons or even a few years, our decor can start to look a little bit stale. So one of the things I really love to do is look at refreshing my space. And there's a lot of really easy ways and inexpensive ways to do that. So what I've done is I've come up with a few tips on how you can do that. So one tip that makes a really dramatic impact is just by painting a wall. It's a really great way to be able to play with some of the interior design trends. If you want to do a deep navy wall or you want to do something a little bit lighter, it's a really inexpensive way to paint and to make a really dramatic impact on your space. The next thing, and this is something that I love to do, I'm pretty addicted to it, I love shopping my home. Now I know that might sound a little bit weird, but essentially just by changing up your decor in different spaces, moving artwork around, taking decor from one room to another can really make a huge impact and really freshen things up. And I find you can kind of fall in love all over again with some of your decor that may have gotten a little bit lost in certain spaces. So one of the things that I love doing, and sometimes I'll do it seasonally, is, or sometimes I just do it because, you know, I just want to change things up a little bit, is I'll move artwork from one room to another. And just by doing that, it just makes a huge impact and just changes things up. And it keeps things really fresh. Another thing that I also really love doing is just playing around with accessories. Accessories can be really an inexpensive way to change things up. And I have a few pictures that I have of some accessories that I've picked up from different places. So you know how much I love hitting the thrift store. You can really find some great finds. And this vase, I think, is gorgeous. It could look really fantastic in any style of space, but this was a great find, and I think it was only $4.99, which is a really great piece. It has a lot of texture too, which I really love. The next picture that I have coming up, oh, this vase. I love this vase. It's just gorgeous. There's lots of curve to it. It'd be beautiful to display, you know, fruit on a table, or just, I think you can put pretty much anything. It would look really fantastic, but the color of it is fantastic as well. And I think this piece actually was only $5.99. Now, these pieces I found, these are quite vintage actually. This is from Blue Mountain Pottery, and how you can tell if it's Blue Mountain Pottery, if you take a look at the back of it, there should be 3 triangles with BMP written on the back of it, and that's how you know. These were made here in Canada, and they were quite popular several years ago, but I love the texture and the colors of this. I think I have one more picture coming up. Oh, here we go. So I love finding artwork at thrift stores. You can find a lot of really unexpected, neat things in there. And I think this was $25 that I found, but I was looking at actually changing up my space and changing some of the colors around. And this piece of artwork was a really great jumping off point for me to be able to do that. So the colors, I was looking at changing up some of the colors, and I really love the blues and the grays. Another thing too, not everyone can have fresh flowers. Sometimes they die. Another really great way to be able to have still the look of flowers and have some of the color is by getting artificial flowers. So these guys I actually found at the thrift store as well, and I'm not joking. When I was looking at them, I had somebody try to come over and get them too because they were just so pretty. But I love the orange, and sometimes even just pairing them with real flowers, it can really make a huge impact, but it just allows you to have really gorgeous color and flowers throughout the year, and you don't have to worry about killing them. So those are some of the things that I really love looking for, and those are really easy ways that you can just look at freshening things up. And like I've said, I always hit the thrift store because you can never know what you find. There's a lot of really gorgeous, vintage, unique pieces that just by putting them in the right setting, it could really pop. So, as I mentioned, I really love thrifting. So what I've done is I actually gave myself a little bit of a challenge. So I gave myself $150 to go out and to refresh a couple of my spaces. So the first space I was looking at redoing is my foyer, because foyers are really one of the first things that people see, of course, when they walk into your house. You want it to feel welcoming, and you want it to feel really fresh and bright and happy. So what I did is, as I mentioned before, this picture right over here, you can kind of see it right over here. So this picture right over here, I ended up finding at the thrift store. I think I spent $25 on it, and this was my jumping off point. Yeah, there it is again. I love the colors in it. It's bright, it's happy. So what I did is I went out and I took a look. I hit some thrift stores, I hit some department stores as well, and I was looking for really budget-friendly ways that I could just change things up in my space. So I think you need to have somewhere to sit, of course, when you're in your foyer for when your guests come over and when you're taking on and off your shoes. So this I chose because I love it. First of all, the fabric is really wonderful and rich. And if you can see right here, I'll just lift it up a little bit. You can see just a little bit of the metallic, and I think you should have metallic in all your spaces. This I actually thrifted for. I love the color, it goes well with the picture. And I always have a little bit of keys and letters and stuff, so I got this Kate Spade box. I love it to hide all my junk and things that I don't want people to see. So take a guess how much I spent on all of this. After taxes and everything, I think I spent $135, yes, it was $135. Sorry, I had to be reminded from my stage manager because I'm terrible with math, but $135. And just by doing this, it's really going to change up the space quite easily. So the other room that I looked at, just changing things up a little bit, was my dining room. So a couple things. So I found this at the thrift store. Look at this, I love this. And the neat thing about this is whenever the light shines on it, it casts this beautiful effect up on my ceiling. IKEA, I hit IKEA, and I actually looked at getting a tablecloth, and this was, I think, $6.99. I found some gorgeous glasses at the thrift store for entertaining, and I love these chargers as well, placemats that you can have as well, just adds a little bit of texture, and I love the color. This chair, I'm going to be talking a little bit more after, is another piece that I brought. And I just want to mention this really quickly. This right here, I actually was on a Facebook buy and sell page, and I got a clipping from somebody, and it's growing pretty fantastically. So before we go, I want to tell you, I only spent $55 on all of this. It's a perfect way to be able to change up your space. So hit the thrift stores. You can really easily freshen up your decor pretty easily by shopping your house and just having some fun. So next episode we have coming, next segment, I'm going to be showing you how to upcycle a chair and take it from start to finish. Stay tuned.
The Thrifty Upcycler is presented by Fusion Mineral Paint. This zero VOC paint is available in a wide range of colors and decorative finishes. Fusion Mineral Paint inspires us to paint it beautiful.
Hey, welcome back. Okay, so we're doing one of my most favorite things here. I love doing DIYs, and I especially love painting chairs. Painting older chairs are a really great way to have a really gorgeous textured piece in your space, but being able to update it as well. One of the great things too about chairs is that you can pretty much find them at any thrift store. They're all over the place, and there's usually tons of them. And they're usually quite inexpensive. Sometimes you can get them for $10, and it just looks a little bit tired. So I just want to give you a few before and after pictures of some chairs that I've refinished, just to kind of give you an idea of how you can really change things up. So this is a chair. You can see it's kind of your standard 70s chair, not that pretty, but just with a little bit of paint and a fun fabric, you can really change it up. The next chair I have coming up, this chair, oh, you can see this one. So this one looked really tired. It wasn't very pretty. It's very brown, But if you really take a close look at the legs. They're gorgeous. It's actually walnut. It's a really solid piece of furniture, and I know that it's going to last quite some time. The seat looks terrible, but by just changing the fabric, and I love, especially on older chairs like this, I love using really fun, bold colors against the older kind of style of the chair. It just looks really fantastic. And this actually I painted in a really bright, fun color as well. So I think the next picture that I have coming up right now is a before. So these chairs I actually happened to find, I think I found it on Facebook Marketplace. I got quite a few of them for a really amazing price. They were next to nothing, but all of them are actually have a stamp that they were made in, I think they're Canadian actually. But again, this is another piece that's solid wood. The seat looks a little bit tired, but that's okay. I'm going to change all that up. So, and the other thing I love about this, if you can take a look here, the chairs are fluted. So there's lots of really, really gorgeous detail. But again, these are chairs that you can actually just kind of walk past because they're so tired looking. But just you have to almost picture it of what you can do with something like this. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you from step A on how to take care of your chair, on how to reupholster it. So first things first, when you are looking at getting chairs like this, you need to clean it. So there's a few steps that you need to take. Prep is the most important thing that you need to do when you are refinishing furniture. So TSP is a must for chairs because you always have excess oils and buildup on it. So what I do is I have a pro tip here, always make sure that you label your TSP with a TSP badge because sometimes you can forget and you might not be using it. So always label it and you just spray it on just like this. And shop rags are your best friends, too, when you are looking at refinishing furniture. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm just going to show you the best way to get the most use out of them is you want to fold them into fours like this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a really good clean. It's going to take all the grime and the yuck off. It's still not going to look that pretty, but don't worry. Once we get the paint on it, it's going to look amazing. So after I've done that, I've cleaned it. I got all the oil and residue off, and you can see it's kind of gross. You can see that a little bit, yucky. Then I'm going to go to my 220 sandpaper, which is also your best friend. So what this is going to do is it's just going to give it a little bit of tooth for the paint to stick to. Now when I say sand, you see what I'm doing. You're just giving it a gentle rub. You don't have to pull out the hand sander. It's too much work. It gets too messy. And this is all about easy and fun. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to go back to my shop rags. And I'm just going to look at having, this is my spray bottle, which is clean water. And I'm just going to wipe off all the residue, just like that. So now I've got the perfect canvas to start painting on. So this only takes a couple of minutes to do. So I've done chairs in a few hours. And it's pretty amazing the impact that you have. Okay, so now that I've done that, let's get to the good stuff. What do you need? I'm using this paint, Fusion paint. It has a built-in top coat in it, so the nice thing, I don't really have to do too much to it after. You can see right here, it's a gorgeous color. There we go. And the other thing that I'm going to be using, which I think is a must when you are painting, is get yourself a round brush. They're fantastic, and they just kind of hug all the curves, so I won't have any drips coming. So now that I've done that, I'm going to start dipping into the paint and having some fun. I'm just going to give it a bit of a wipe off, and then I'm just going to start painting. And you can already see, look at this color. It's going to be so gorgeous against this. So you can see as I'm moving around, this brush is just gently getting into all the little bits. And really, I could probably even get away with just doing one coat if I wanted to, but I'm going to do two just to be on the safe side and to really have the color come out. Okay, gorgeous. I'm loving this color. Okay, so let's move on. So what you would do is you would just continue painting this chair, and then you would wait about 4 hours in between coats, and then you would do one more coat over top of it, and that's going to give you a really, really nice finish. And this paint is actually self-leveling, so it's going to have a really lovely sheen to it, but you don't have to worry about brush strokes. Just make sure that you use a good quality brush. That's so important. Okay, so now what you do when you are looking at getting fabric. I happened to find this fabric at a fabric store. Let's see if I can get it all up here. Now, this fabric, I love this because it kind of has like a little hint of vintage. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little guy right here fishing. Super cute, love it. Really nice colors. It's just kind of a throwback, I find, to the 70s. That's what it kind of reminds me of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now how to reupholster a seat. Very easy. You don't have to be a super duper reupholsterer, because I'm not, but there's a couple of tips that I'm going to give you. So first of all, you're going to take the seat off. And as I mentioned, you can see the stamp here of the chair, so you know it's a really great quality. So what we did is we went out and I got this piece of foam, because you need to have some cushy seating to sit on. And you can actually get cushions that actually fit the size of your chair, and if you don't, then you can just cut it really easily. Now, because the seating is quite square, I'm going to use some banting here, and what that's going to do is just going to give it just a little bit more of a softness, which I really want on the chair. So I'm just going to wrap it up just like this. And again, all you have to do, what I do, because I just cut it according to the seat. And pro tip here, when you are looking at doing this and getting your fabric, a really great way to do it to make sure that you have enough. First of all, you want to make sure that you have the pattern exactly where you want it. So I always start like this, and then I put it down once I figure out where I want the fabric to go. And then all you really need to do, if you have a staple gun, that's a really great way to get it on. And if you don't, you can just use nails and tacks that you can get at any local hardware store. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to attach it to both sides like this, attach it to both sides like this, and then I keep going. You just twist the sides and attach it, and there you go. You got a brand new seat. And if you take a look right here, here is my beautiful chair that I love, and it's going to be coming home to my table. Okay, so next up, we're going to have Sasha and Melissa Leclerc here. They're going to be talking about their gorgeous design style and their new store that they have up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to the Thrifty Upcycler. So I am so excited. We have two amazing local talented interior designers here. I'm really glad that they came here. We have Sasha and Melissa Leclerc from Leclerc Decor. Thanks so much for coming today. I'm really excited to have you here. Yeah. So I'd love you to tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you got started, just everything about you.
So we bought our first house, and we
got the keys like the day after the
yeah, we decorated our first house, and then we just kind of casually posted pictures online, and then friends started asking us to help them decorate their house. We did maybe 2 houses for our friends, and then it just turned into a business from there.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we started at a spare bedroom and then kind of just gradually worked our way up, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
And so how many years now you guys have been running a business?
Since 2011. Originally, we were just kind of doing it part-time on the side, kind of just trying to get clients and working our way forward. And then, yeah, 3 years after we started, we quit our jobs and started doing it full-time. And we've had our store up and running now for 4 years. So
that's amazing. That's a big risk to do that, but it was such a great move, because you guys are doing fantastic. You now have a store.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, retail space. So we opened up in Train Yards last December, and we're about to expand to be 10,000 square foot space. And
wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations, that's fantastic. So I know you guys brought in a few pictures that I'd love for the viewers to have a chance to see, and we'll go through them really quickly, but maybe you can just...
Yeah, so this is our house, yeah.
Okay, so this is the before picture, and this is the after?
Yeah, we had a big reaction to that.
Yeah.
Wow, holy cow,
So the first thing we actually did in both of our houses was do the garage door and the front door immediately. So we just painted them black. We didn't have a huge budget to do anything, but that for us was just like a quick, easy way to update it. And then we did the lighting, and then
modern numbers.
Modern numbers, and then the roof, and then we kind of took the big plunge of like painting out the house. And a lot of people thought it was risky, but we're so happy we did it.
Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so this is your home, or?
This is one of the models that we've done. So this is at Pathways in Finley Creek.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a few things? So I know we had talked about this before, but for some people, you guys use white a lot.
Yeah.
And so,
it's our #1 asked question.
Yeah. So how do you? Because it can be very traumatizing for people when they're using white.
Our kind of theory is we use white on walls as just a neutral backdrop,
Yeah.
and we add texture and color through accessories and furniture and textiles. So
Yes, I know it's a traumatizing thing for people to pick a white. I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
So it can depend on the situation, but like almost 100% of the time, we use a color called Chantilly lace from Benjamin Moore.
Okay.
Yes, but on the exterior of the home, we used a color called Cloud Cover by Benjamin Moore. So I tried to kind of coordinate with the siding. It was a bit more of an off-white, so I tried to coordinate. And also outside, it can be a little more stark, so you don't want to go too white.
Yes.
And then inside, we also use a color if you want to have a little bit of depth called White Wisp, which is really nice, or Pure White, again, if you just want to have a little bit of an undertone. But Chantilly lace for me is perfection. It's got like a nice
it
clean.
kind of works in every.
Yeah,
really?
there's no real undertone to it, so it's a nice clean white.
Oh, that's fantastic, because I know it can be really tricky, and then when you see it in the store and then you bring it back, it
So
can...
many people are just like, I'm going to paint my house white, and
Yeah.
then they have like 100 different options. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, which one?
My rule of thumb too. So I actually worked in a paint store for a long time, and so don't ever test white on top of a color. So you need to have it like if you really wanted to test it out, like put a primer or put it next to like your white trim work or something. Because if you're putting white on top of like a red or a color, you're not going to be able to really see
Yeah.
what it is, the depth or the tones that are in it.
That's a great tip. Thanks so much for that.
Yeah.
The other thing in terms of your styling, you had mentioned a little bit about it. So when you are looking at styling spaces, do you have certain elements that you guys, or how about, do you guys have a specific design style, would you say?
We like to call it warm modern. So we like to have
Yeah.
modern elements. I think clean lines and simplicity, but then we really like
But
to warm
not
it up.
stark. We like to warm things up with natural woods and
Yeah.
nice textiles.
Textures and-
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
layering.
it definitely exudes that, because I like you've got the gorgeous whites, but then you've got lots of texture or woods peeking
yeah,
through.
and we love using more metals like brass is something we really love.
So it's really about layering then. It's
Layering, I think that's where you can really dive into like the personality of the space and bring your specific, element to it and make it feel like your home.
Yeah.
That's really where you get to have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly, because you want it to feel very homey and you
Yeah.
want to feel very comfy in it, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic. Maybe we can talk a little bit about what you've brought in today.
Yeah.
So we have a few different pieces here. This was actually, so our part of our logo is the mountain logo, and we developed that because Sasha and I kind of fell in love going up to Tremblant, and we really love the mountain. It kind of is our nice little escape, and that became part of our logo. And
So
then
we made it a bookend.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're really happy, and we actually use a local artist for this out of Wakefield. It's called Craft Collective, and he creates these for us and ladders, and we try to use local as much as possible. We really like
Even
collaborating
the
with other small
cutting board as
businesses.
well.
Yeah, so this is from Nightwood Studio. So she is local as well, and she does really beautiful work and loves what she does too. I kind of love that when people are talking about what they're doing, and she's so passionate about it, and I love that. And this again is another collaboration that we did with another local. So these are hand poured in Ottawa.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
These are
and this is really
gorgeous.
fun. Yeah, so she again was like all into the scents and really loved what she was doing. So that was really fun as well, doing that collaboration. And then these are actually from Perth Soap Co. So they have some really beautiful scents. And those have done really well. Those are great for your powder room or your home, and people have actually been buying them for gifts too for people. It's a nice little gift.
Yeah. And this gorgeous.
And this, so we love pillows. We love textures and patterns. And these are actually hand sewn in-house by one of our designers. She was doing, so we've created our own kind of line of pillows as well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. You had a little story about this.
The pampas grass.
Yes.
Yeah, so last year we needed some big, huge bunches in our 2 vases on our front desk at the store.
Yep.
So I went on the side of the highway in the middle of the winter for about 45 minutes,
Yeah. We don't recommend doing that.
freezing my butt off, and cut the grass, but then all our clients wanted to buy it.
Oh my goodness.
So we didn't let them last year because I'm like, I didn't want to take away from our display, but this winter I think I will go and cut some, and we'll sell little bunches because everyone's been asking for it, and it's just stayed like this.
Yeah,
the
they've
entire
lasted a year,
Yeah.
so they're
Yeah.
pretty great.
And you see this everywhere in Ottawa, just on the side of the road, right?
Yes,
But
yeah.
To incorporate it within decor, it has a.
Well, it's always
look.
nice too to have like a little bit of that natural element happening.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's a little bit of whimsy with it, you know.
Yeah.
It's, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, what about what do we have here?
So it's just a little Ottawa banner that we made, and we're going to expand on this and do a few more kind of local. We might do some neighborhoods too. So they've been pretty
Awesome.
popular. Yeah.
Maybe you can talk a little bit more about what kinds of products that you have in your store too, and what kind of services you offer people, because you do have a lot of services.
Yeah, so we originally started as a design firm, and we offer full service for our clients. So whether they're just redoing their living room or their home for decorating, or from the ground up. So whether they're remodeling or building a new home, we are there to help them with space planning,
Kitchen
material
design, bathroom
selection,
design, everything,
all
yeah.
of the elements.
Yeah.
And we also have an Aldi Shop decorating guide, which coincides with our retail store. So we give you kind of a curated room and a full shopping list to kind of go at your own pace and put your room together. So that's been really well received as well.
Oh, that's awesome. And how can people find you? We got about 10 seconds left.
That's okay. So online is the easiest way. Our retail space is located in Train Yards. If you want to come visit us in person, we are also online. So you can visit leclairedecor.com, ldshop.com for our store.
Awesome.
Or Instagram.
Great. Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Thanks so much for coming in. It was wonderful having you. Happy painting, happy thrifting, and see you soon.